So we get to the men's Rumble. Again, they have announced everyone under the sun for this thing. Some of these people the thing I liked about the 2018 Rumble when we were there was that Jesus Christ. So they announced a lot of people, and a lot of these people aren't going to win. So why even bother putting them in there, dude? Like, the Rumble, in my opinion, I feel like they've kind of lost their way with it, because now it's a lot of, job guys. And I guess that was always the case, even back 15, 20 years ago. Like, you would know. You watch the early 2000 Rumbles. There's a lot of fucking losers in there. They're not going to win.
There's a ton of losers in there.
A ton of losers, I get it, but, R-Truth. I mean, okay, I know he's the 24/7 champion, but R-Truth
was 24/7 champion.
What, didn't he regain it or no? No, he's not the champion anymore, but he's going to be in there.
He lost the mojo.
I forgot. I thought R-Truth regained it this week or something, but so R-Truth was announced today. He was put in there. Kofi and Big E, I guess, makes sense. Joe, Owens, and Rollins all make sense. Strowman, Nakamura, okay. Murphy and Black are in there. Rusev and Bobby are in there. We have Otis and Tucker. Why, dude? I like Otis. I mean, I guess Otis makes sense, but why does Tucker have to be in the match? Does anyone give a fuck? Is he like the 2019 version of Titus O'Neil, where he just pops up for no reason? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Dolph's in the match, but Rude's not. I have a lot of questions here. Roman, we know, is in it. Elias, come on, dude. Eric fucking Rowan, I don't even know what to say. They have already filled up 25 spots. I feel like that's a lot, because they got to leave some mystery. Honestly, you know what? I would rather not know that they're coming out I don't know. I would rather just them not announce these people, because who gives a shit? Who cares? I'd rather they just leave the spots open for surprises, because who the fuck cares about Eric Rowan and Tucker being in the Royal Rumble, well knowing that they're not going to fucking win? To me, it just seems like they're in there just to get shucked out by Corbin or Reigns or something. You know what I mean? It just makes no sense.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I don't know. There's one thing to be said about losers being in there. Heath Slater, perfect example. In there when we went a couple years ago, he was one of the stars in the match. They had a recurring highlight with him being in there, he kept getting his ass kicked, and it made sense. And then he checked out Sheamus. I thought that was great. Everyone made sense to be in the match. This year, it doesn't really feel that way. It feels like a lot of people are in there just for the sake of being in the fucking match. It feels like we have Brock and Reigns and then everybody else. And then Drew, Brock, Reigns, and then everybody else. So RJ, what's the lowdown with the Rumble? What are you feeling about this Rumble? Who do you think is going to be in it? Surprise entrance? Who's winning it? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think if you look back at it, I think this one has some losers in it. I mean, if you look back in the day, there's a ton of guys. There'd be it's similar to this. You have 3 or 4 guys that have a chance. Everyone else are just glorified losers that have no chance to win. I hope Roman doesn't win. That's the last thing I fucking want. I forgot. I would fucking be so mad if he won. I hope Drew wins. I might pick Drew. I think he needs it the most. It'd be great for him to win. For surprises, I mean, I hope they take the 5 guys that aren't announced and just NXT guys. So, Riddle, Keith Lee, Gargano Ciampa would be fun as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a legend. I know they're in Houston, Texas, so maybe Mark Henry. I know he's from Texas. That would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Kind of good for Henry to come out. But, I mean, I hope it's Drew. That's kind of all I got right now. I just hope Drew wins.
I mean, I don't want to get my hopes up for anyone you just said, and then, Big Show comes out. You know what I mean? He'll probably pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want Drew to win. The issue, I'm really high on the idea of Drew winning. I've said this a million times, but I was on Sunday, I said to myself, I really want Drew to win the Royal Rumble. I really want him to win the Rumble. The sad thing is, I just don't think he will. I think this would be the first time, I'm not going to lie, that it would feel genuinely shocking. Nakamura winning was great. Don't get me wrong. Rollins winning was great, but we all kind of figured they were winning. Because why wouldn't they? You know what I mean? With Nakamura, we knew he was facing AJ at WrestleMania. Why wouldn't he? And last year, Rollins versus Brock was set in stone months in advance. So this year, we have no clue. We have no idea where he's going to end up on the card. Brock Lesnar, that is. We have no idea who he's facing, who he's going to defend the title against. Drew makes more sense than anyone, but it's not predictable. So that's why I like Drew. You really want to make someone with the Rumble, like you said, Drew's the guy to go with. Just to give the Rumble victory to someone who could already get a title shot tomorrow, like a Roman, is stupid. Roman's done such a good job. He's done such a great job of getting the people behind him again over the last year that to have him win the Rumble on the near 5-year anniversary of when he won it the first time and it all went to shit for him would be a fucking mistake. That would be a massive mistake. Like, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be shocked. None of us would be shocked. Because we said that 5 years ago. We were saying, you know what? If Roman wins, they're fucking this guy because Bryan should win. When we all want Drew to win. And they had him win anyway. So, like, nothing will surprise me anymore. But the thing is, I want Drew to win. He's not my pick. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think they'll do the right thing here. I really don't. But I also I don't think Roman's going to win either. My pick to win the Rumble, and I hate that I'm saying this, and I hate that I'm saying that I hate that I say it because I like the guy, but I have no interest in seeing the match. Cain Velasquez. I think Cain Velasquez shows up. I think he chucks out Brock, and he wins the whole fucking thing, and everyone, the crowd goes mild. No one will fucking care. Because you know they're going to go back to that at some point, but they fucked it up the first time. No one was higher on the idea of Kane in WWE than me. And I know you were excited about it as well, but they messed it up within a month. They made the guy look like a bitch at Crown Jewel. Why would anyone want to see the rematch at this point? I know he was hurt back then, but like, I don't know. I have no interest in seeing Kane and Brock. Definitely at WrestleMania for the title. Like, they fucked it up when they should have done it at this pay-per-view. Let's put it that way. At Mania, no thanks. No interest in seeing that at all. I'm going to say Cain Velasquez, though. I just think there's a very good chance that he shows up and wins the whole thing. Like, we haven't seen him since. And they signed him to this big deal, and we haven't seen him since he lost to Brock like a loser. Like, I don't know. Do you see that as a possibility, RJ, or is it just me?
I mean, I see it as a possibility, but I'm so out on the idea that I didn't even bring it up. Like, if he wins, I might as well just, like, fucking give up.
I just give up. I hate that I'm even saying that, but that's my pick. I'm convinced that he's winning. I really am. I think Drew should win. You need to film when it gets down to the final two. If it gets down to the final two and Drew's in there, you need to do me a favor, Mr. Marceau. And if he's still awake, shoot the reaction of Papa Marceau. Need to see his reaction if he wins the Rumble.
Sounds good.
He's gonna pop out of his sofa if Drew wins. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the match though. As far as surprises, I think Keith Lee and Matt Riddle got to be locks. The thing is that they were on backstage. I mean, in a perfect world, I want Keith Lee to win because I think they could really capitalize off that Survivor Series stuff, even though it was a while ago. Honestly, I think he'd be as much of a threat to Brock as anyone else. I don't think it's happening, but I think it'd be pretty fucking cool. The issue is that CM Punk said the exact same thing last night on Backstage, so you know it's not happening because they're not gonna do what he would predict. So it's not like that was their plan anyway. But there's no shot in hell of it happening now. Matt Riddle would be cool, but again, you know it's not happening. Anyone winning from NXT in their debut would be pretty cool. Like Baszler, really, they're kind of doing that with Baszler. But it would be even cooler with like a person with Lee who's a real threat to Brock Lesnar. And that's how you make a star from the get-go. But it should be Drew. Drew makes the most sense. Aleister Black should be considered a dark horse. I know you have Owens and Joe, and that'd be cool. Kind of feels a little too obvious. Either one of them versus Brock and Mania would be great. I just don't think WWE sees them as those type of opponents for Brock and Mania. I think Drew is just the logical pick. If it's not Drew, then what the fuck? You know, what do you do with Drew at WrestleMania? I just don't get it.